Well, good morning, everyone. My name is W.J. Miles. I'm going to be your instructor for the webinar today, and Kelly Landers is going to answer your questions. Say
Perfect.
hi, Kelly.
Hi, everyone. I'm glad to be here this morning.
If you do have questions during the class today, be sure and type them into the question pane located on the right-hand side of the screen. If you don't see the question pane, you may need to click the orange arrow button to maximize it. We'll do our best to answer everyone's questions as time allows. We'll have a little bit of time at the end of the presentation to take questions also. So if you will please, if you're going to follow along with me today, go to our website, mymetrotex.com. mymetrotex.com. Here on mymetrotex.com, you're going to see our main menu across the top. Go ahead and click on the MLS login there. That's going to take you to a screen where you'll log in to Netris with your license number with the 0 in front and your password. That's going to bring you to the Netris dashboard here. If you have not set up your account with Cloud MLX, please go ahead and click on that icon. It's going to take you to a website where it's going to ask you for some information. Okay? If you haven't set up your account, go ahead and do that while I go over some other things here in class, and then that way when we start doing the Cloud CMA, then you'll be ready to go on that. So I'm going to jump over to this Cloud Agent Suites. We have access to 3 of these 4 tools. Cloud CMA is a report generating tool. Cloud Streams is an auto email type system. Cloud MLX is a search engine. If we have time towards the end of class, I'm going to show you how to use Cloud MLX to start a CMA in Cloud CMA also. One thing that we do not have access to, but you can get on your own if you would like, is called Cloud Attract. This is relatively new. It is a product that has multiple landing pages. By landing pages, I mean a website where you can direct people to, and they can get how much their home is worth, or they can ask questions of you and things like that. It has multiple ones of those. The reason they have this is it tracks where your best leads are coming from. So you might want to put one landing page on your website, another one that you send out on your emails, another one that you do on Facebook or Instanet, and then based on the different landing pages that you do, it will track where your leads are coming from and tell you you need to spend more money over here or spend more time in this area or whatever. They also have a deal right now that if you sign up for it, it's free till the end of the year. But you get Cloud CMA, Cloud Streams, and Cloud MLX by being a member of Netris. Cloud CMA. Cloud CMA has been around here for us for a long time. It's actually a product that was launched, I think, about 2008, somewhere in there, 2007. It is a report generating tool, and today we're going to learn how to use that Cloud CMA from outside of Matrix, or pushing information over to it from Matrix, and then at the end maybe we can spend some time showing you how to do it in Cloud MLX, the search engine. So what does Cloud CMA have? It has custom listing presentations built into it. It has buyer reports. It has instant home valuation / CMA reports. You can send out iPad presentations, and you can use the iPad presentations on your own. And then it has lead generation that we're going to talk about, where you can create a landing page to send people to that lead generation page, and they can get the value of their home, and you'll get the leads from them. The new look. They have changed their look, and I'm going to show you the difference in those two here to kind of simplify the screen, but you can create CMA reports, buyer tour reports, property reports, and flyers very easily with this tool. So let's jump over and get into Cloud CMA. If you have your Cloud CMA open, this is our old user interface. You'll see the Cloud CMA Desktop here that we're used to seeing and creating a new CMA report there. We're actually going to start it from over here in Matrix in a moment. But right here at the top, it is telling you that the Cloud CMA Classic UI or user interface is going to go away permanently coming January 1st, and you can switch to the new Cloud CMA. If you click on that, you will see the new CMA. I'm going to go ahead and skip this. If you want to go through that, you can look at it. This is what the new dashboard looks like. It's much more simplistic. It's got a few new things built into it that I'm going to show you here. If you decide you want to switch back, you can go up to either your initials or your picture there if you have it in your profile and switch back to the Classic. So right now, between now and the first of the year, you can switch back and forth between the two views here. But after January 1st, this is going to be the only view that you will have. Okay, so let's say we're going to start a CMA. If we close Cloud CMA, we jump over into Matrix. We can push information out of Matrix into the Cloud CMA website. So let's do a search for some properties here. If we go to search, residential, quick. On a CMA, you want to see more than just the active listings here. So maybe I want to see all the actives. Maybe I want to see the pendings and the solds. Over here to the right of pending and sold is telling me how far back in time to go here. So if I go to the sold, maybe I want to go back 6 months rather than 3 months. I can change that to go back 180 or roughly 6 months. If we scroll on down, in doing our CMA, we want to try to stay in the same subdivision if we can. So if I come here, we want to use our wildcard, which is the asterisk, and the name of the subdivision. So there is a subdivision in South Grapevine called Glade Crossing. I'm going to put that in. Then I want the single family residences. And then just to make sure that I find the subdivision I want, I'm going to put the city in here also. So I want the Glade Crossing that is, whoops, didn't mean to do that. I want the Glade Crossing that is in Grapevine. So it's already showing me 19 matches. But I know that my subject property is 2,200 square feet. So I want to go down 300 or so and up 300 or so. So I'm going to look for properties that are 1,900 to 2,500. If I scroll down now, I'm going to see I have 11 matches down in the bottom left-hand corner. And now I want to go to my results. When I go to results, I'm going to see those 11 properties here on my results tab. And one of the columns on the agent single line report is the status. If I click on status, it's going to sort them ascending. So I see I've got 2 actives. I've got 1 active contingent, 2 that are in option, 1 that's pending, and then several that are solds. The ones that give me a value for my property are the solds. So this is the way I do a CMA. If you go to the top left-hand corner, the first column here, if you put a check mark there, it puts a check mark on all 11 listings. If I come down until I find a sold and I click on that MLS number for that first sold, it's going to show me the information about that property. This is where the art of the CMA is. You need to select properties that are like your property. So you might want to look at the pictures for the condition, whether it has a pool or not. I know this one's a little bit high for this neighborhood, and it's probably because of that pool. So if I can get away with not using it, I'm going to uncheck it because I don't want to have to adjust that pool out. But I could, in this tool I'm about to show you, if I had to use this as a comparable, I could adjust that tool out. If I, if I hit next, then I can come and look at another property here, 4 bedrooms, about the same age, a little bit high on the range here, no pool, about where I would expect this property to be. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. I'm going to keep it by not removing the check mark in the top left-hand corner. If I hit next again, I'm going to go to the next property, and I would go through and look at each of these, trying to decide, is this property like my property? Do I want to keep it as a comparable? So this is where the art of the CMA is picking the correct comparables here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that one, and go ahead and keep this one. Now if I want to switch back from the agent full display to the agent single line display, the ones that I have unchecked will still be unchecked. So I've got that one right there that I don't want to use. If I want to keep just my check marks, I'm going to go to the Refine button on the white toolbar. When I click that, the blue toolbar below changes. If I hit Discard, I'm going to be throwing my check marks away. If I hit Narrow, I'm going to keep my check marks. So they're the opposite of each other. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Narrow. It's going to select just those 10 properties for comparables. So it's going to show all of my actives and the pendings on the report, but those really do not give me a value. The solds give me a value down here. So if I scroll down, I click on the white Actions bar, on the white toolbar Actions, I'll see the blue toolbar changes, and there's 3 different ways to do a CMA. If you come to our Advanced Matrix class, we'll show you all 3 ways: the Quick CMA, the CMA, and if you've been around for a while, when we had Netris listings, this is the old CMA wizard from that tool. It's a report generating tool there. And then the third way to do a CMA in this system is Cloud CMA. So that's what we're talking about today. We're going to go ahead and click on Cloud CMA here. It's going to bring us over, and I'm going to skip this tour here, and it's going to show us the start of the CMA report. If you scroll down about halfway, see all of those MLS numbers? Those are my comparables coming over. So I'm going to look at one of our comparables and find an easy address here. How about 712 Preston Place? The reason I looked at that is right here it wants an address. So I'm going to put 712 Preston Place, and we'll look down through here. Here is the one in Grapevine. This is going to connect to a database, and it's going to pull the information about that property over for me automatically. See how I didn't have to fill in the square footage or the bedrooms or the baths right there? I could also do advanced here, and I could put in additional information: lot size, garages, other things that I might want to show there. We're just going to do the basic information here. And then it wants you to put your client's name in here also. So I'll just do it for Rudy, my dog, Rudy Miles here. And then I'm going to scroll down. There's 3 different ways to get your CMA comparables in here. We just did it from Matrix, but we could have done what they call a quick and dirty. And we're going to talk about that later on when we talk about lead generation. And then there's a third way. You could pull comps out of Cloud MLX. And if we have time at the end of class, I'll show you how to do that. We want to do it from Matrix, so we're going to use those comparables. Once you've got your client's name, the address of your comparable, and your comparables over here, you can hit Fetch Listings in the top right-hand corner or the bottom center. There's 2 green buttons that say Fetch Listings. When you click on that, it's going to get those properties and pull it into the report tool. I went to a Boost conference, they called it. It was the first one of its kind at W&R Studios, the makers of this tool, back in, I think it was July, August time frame, for a 3-day conference there that they called Boost. I learned that they're not actually connecting to our MLS. They have a database called Forge, and Forge is taking a download from all the MLSs across the United States every 5 minutes. The reason they have this database is it helps them fix issues that arise. Instead of having to tailor their product to every MLS across the United States, they take a download from all those MLSs, and then they can manipulate the data, add fields, take fields away, do whatever they need to do to their database, and then it doesn't affect every MLS across the United States. So that was one tidbit I picked up that helped me to understand how the tool works here. Once you come over, you've got organize listings. It's going to show where that neighborhood is, and these little boxes are going to show where the comparables are. Okay, if we go down below the map there, you're going to see what the color code is. So these 5 green ones are active listings. There's a yellow one up here that's a pending listing, and then the 4 sold listings here, and our comparable is actually one of the solds there. It's going to show that address, the basic information about it, and then right here we can set a price. If we want to set our own price, we click on that. It's going to give us the option to put in a price here, and then it does some math here for us, shows us the highs and the lows and the medians and all that stuff. So I'm going to say this home is probably about $340,000, $350,000. I'm going to go ahead and put in $340,000 for now, but we can change it if we want to. So you just type in the number and it will put that in for us. You can also open this price guide and net sheet. See how that opens and closes this down here? So maybe I want to go ahead and put in a net sheet. I could come up with the total selling expenses that they would have with the commissions and the title insurance and all of that stuff, and show them if you get this price, Mr. Seller, you're going to net a particular amount. If we go on down, it's going to show us our comparables. It'll show the price of the comparable, what status it's in, and do we want to use it or not. If we wanted to remove a comparable, we uncheck it. It grays it out. It's not going to use that one. If we leave the check mark, that one will be used in our comparables. If we want to adjust something, let's say this one has a pool and I need to adjust it out, I can go to the details and adjustments here. When we click on that, it's going to show us a picture of the property, the information about that property, the description, and then down below here we can adjust it. I'm sorry, I was looking for another box there. Where did they put the box? That's the description. I guess we're going to put it down here, total adjustments. So right here, where did they put it? They have moved something on me. Update. There's supposed to be another box right there. Where's that? Give me just a second, guys. They moved something on me here. I was expecting to have a box right next to that update. Adjustments, names, It's not letting me click in there.
Did it let you click under the name?
Under where?
Under the name. I adjusted for a pool last week.
Which name are you talking about?
Adjustments under the name.
Adjustments under name. Ah, there we go. I was expecting that to be in a different box. So right there's a pool, and over here where it's grayed out, that's what was confusing me. It was grayed out. Let's say the pool was $10,000. So I would type in 10,000 and save. There we go. If we scroll back up now, we're going to see this price. Whoops, I put it up. I need a minus in front of it, right? So if we click, I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to click on the pool again. Delete, click, pool. So I added 10,000. I want to actually take away, so I'm going to do a minus 10,000 to adjust the pool out. Save it. Now if we scroll back up, we're going to see a down arrow, and the price there has been adjusted down. That's indicating that that was adjusted down. So again, the check mark removes the listing or uses it, and you can adjust down here in this box for whatever you need to adjust for. So a pool, another garage space, another bedroom, or whatever, you could adjust it there. Okay, once we've got that done, we'd scroll down and look through all of the different ones here. Again, it's going to show our actives and our active options and things like that, but our solds are the ones that are going to give us the price. So top right hand corner, we can customize the report, or if we scroll down to the bottom center, we can customize the report. With the new user interface here, they give us some new options on customizing the report. It's very similar to what we had in the old system. They just rearranged it a little bit. In the old system, these were right over here on the right hand side. Now they have the theme, the layout, templates, cover sheets, fonts, and things like that right here at the top. Also notice on the pages, they used to have the minus here all the time. If I wanted to remove that page, it was there. I clicked on it. Now it only shows up when you roll over the page. So if you don't want your resume, you can hit the remove. It's going to fall back over into the additional. If you want to put it back in, the green plus sign there on the additional will put it over here in the center. The ones that have edit on them are pages you can edit. This is something that's a little bit different also. In the old user interface, it would pop open another tab, and then you just had to know to close that tab once you're done. In this system, when you click on edit, it pops up inside this page. So you don't have to remember to close that tab when you're done. So you would come here, make any changes you need to make, hit the save, it will save that, and then you hit the X right here in the corner of that, and now you have edited that page. This system remembers the pages that you have, the contents that you've edited, so you get your CMA set up the way you want it, and then the next time when you come in, you don't have to do those edits. It remembers how it was done the last time you were here. So if you want to rearrange the pages, you can drag them into whatever order you want here. And if you want to add additional pages, you come over here to the left-hand side. You can add pages and remove pages over here in the center. Here at the top, you can choose your theme. This is going to be the colors of the report. When you click on themes, you're going to see lots of different themes here. They still have the companies that have paid to have their own custom schemes here at the top. But if you scroll down, you're going to see some new ones. We've had different colors and things like that, but if you see the word modern, these are going to be ones that they have new colors here for. So once you click on the color, you're going to see what those pages look like, and you would just select the colors that you like for your reports to have. If we hit choose this theme, then we are applying that theme to this report. Once that's done, come on, there we go. We can also choose the layout. When you click on the layout, these are the different layouts for our comparables. So they've got text with a house and a map, maybe the front of the house and some indoor pictures, several house pictures, and then it has the column themes. Let's say you have an even number of comparables. You may want to select an even number page here where it has 4 columns. If you have an odd number, you may want to select this one over here so that you can have those different themes. Whichever one works out for you, you select that. And then templates. If you click on templates, you could apply different templates here to this. We're going to just go ahead and stay with the one that's there, but if you made your own templates, you could do that. And then if you're good at making reports look better by changing fonts, they give you that ability there. So as I said, once you've got your report set up here, it becomes very easy to generate a new report. If we go to the bottom center or the top right and we hit Publish Report, this is what it's going to show us. It's going to publish that report. This is the new dashboard that I showed you the comparables from the old user interface to the new one here. It feels very comfortable. It's what we're used to. It just looks a little bit different here. So here we can see we just generated this report. We can view as a PDF, meaning this is the printed version. We can play a slideshow that I'll show you here in just a moment. If we need to go back and edit it, we can hit that edit button right there. Then here in the top right hand corner, they've got this new little icon with the 3 dots. When you click on that, you can copy a link to the PDF file. You can copy a link to the slideshow, meaning you can send that slideshow to your client. Then we've got email the report. If you want to send it out of your email, copy it here. But if you want to send it out of their email, you would send it from right here. So let's view the report. If we hit View PDF, it's going to open up a web page here. This report's about 34 pages long, and it's going to show you what this report looks like. So it has comparative market analysis there at the top, has the address of the property, and it has a star right there where that property is. So this is an aerial shot of that neighborhood. And then it has our client's name, has our contact information there at the bottom. Here's stuff about my broker. I don't see any misspelled words, do you, Kelly?
I don't.
And then it
perfect.
has a resume about me.
That's gorgeous.
It looks great, doesn't it? If we go on down, we've got what is a CMA, explaining it to your client. Then it has your contact information. Again, you can put this in whatever order works best for you. Then when we get to the comparables, it has a map of all the different listings there. And then the property addresses below that. If we keep going down, has a summary of the comparables for solds, pendings, and actives. If we keep going down, it's going to show the listings. So here's the 3 column that I was telling you about above the comparables, and that's showing that these are solds right there. So they can look at the details, comparing those to each other. If we keep going down, there's some more comparables. And once we get past, I don't want to make you dizzy here, but once we get past that, there's going to be the analysis. Showing on the solds here, what's the highest price, the average price, the lowest price there, what's the days on market, what's the price per square foot. So I was guessing about $340, $345 on this one. It looks like we're right in that range. Then if we go on down, it's going to have the sold property analysis page with some details about those. Suggested list price right there that I put in, about $340. And then it's going to show me the solds and pendings and actives. Then it's going to have action plans here. So these are going to be talking point pages for you to talk with your clients. Very, very well done report. Looks nice here. So you could take this to your listing presentation. It would help you step your client through what's going to happen on selling their property there. And it is a PDF file that you can email to your client if they're not readily available, so they can be viewing it while you're there. So nice looking report. That is the modern looking report there. If we close that, we're back here at the dashboard. We can also play a slideshow. When we do play slideshow here, this is meant to be viewed on a tablet. There's going to be less things on here, but it's going to cover the important information, and it's going to show you the details about each of the properties here. So you could download this to a iPad or an Android tablet. Again, it's going to show the subject property here in the center. This is still an aerial view, so the property is going to be right there in the center. It's got the address, who it was prepared for, and who it was prepared by. Notice over here in the bottom right-hand corner, this is the navigation. If you have your panel open for the webinar, you may need to close that to see it. It's right down here in the bottom right-hand corner. And if you hit the arrow that's bouncing to the right, that means that's the only way you can go right now. If you click on the house, it's going to bring you back to this home page. So I'm going to hit the little arrow to the right. It's going to show my contact information. Then it's going to show a map of the properties here that we're using for comparables. It should look nice and clean like this in the neighborhood. If we keep going, it's going to show the sold listings. So there's 4 sold listings. When we come here, notice down at the bottom of the little house, the bottom arrow is bouncing. That means there's additional pictures for this property. If you scroll down, you'll see the thumbnails of each of those. And then if we want to go ahead and go to the right, we can do that. That picture's a little bit low there, isn't it? Now if we go down, we can see the thumbnails there. If we do an arrow to the right again, it's going to show our next property. That grass looks awfully green compared to the other neighborhood there, doesn't it? Maybe they did a good one. Just to ask a question here, Kelly, if there was a sign right here in the yard and we could read that sign, is that allowed in the MLS system?
No, WJ, that's not allowed.
That would be considered branding that picture, right?
Yes.
It's not the sign that's the issue, it's the readability of it. So if we just saw the side of the sign and we couldn't read it, that would not be branding this. But if it was readable right there, that would be considered branding that picture, and that's not allowed in the MLS. If we keep going to the right, we'll keep seeing pictures here, and the thumbnails, if we go down on each of those, we could see those. Then we're going to see the pending homes. This is the first pending here. Same thing, we could see the thumbnails. If we go to the actives, these are going to be the 5 actives. They seem to like colored doors in this neighborhood. He's got the orange there, but I've seen red and greens, different doors. There's another burgundy door right there. Oh, I like the Volkswagen. Hadn't seen the Volkswagen before. If we keep going, it will take us through showing us each of these. If for some reason the picture on the full screen here looks pixelated, meaning it looks kind of fuzzy, that just means the picture in MLS was too small. And when it got blown up to full screen size here, it got pixelated. If we keep going to the right, we'll get to a page, has our averages here again for us to start talking about things. Then when we come over, it's going to show us some more analysis pages here, what our suggested list price was, next steps, where we could talk through what it would take to get their property on the market. Then it's going to have this last page here that has your contact information. And since you're doing this on a tablet, you're not necessarily leaving them anything. If you get the listing, then it gives you the option of emailing them this presentation. And if you think you're not going to get the listing, you might not want to email it to them there. So that is viewable on an iPad or an Android tablet. If I go ahead and close that, it's going to bring us back to the page here. Okay, so that is how you create a CMA report from Matrix. Let's say we want to do a buyer tour. You can also email a buyer tour to someone. I'm going to go ahead and close Cloud CMA. I'm going to get back in Matrix, and let's do another search here. Let's do search residential quick. I have a buyer, and his name is Mr. I.B. Rich. He has some money. He wants a 10 million or more property. How would I put that in, Kelly? What do I put?
It's going to be 10, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0,
10,000 plus. 10,000 thousands is 10 million. When we come down here and we look, there's 17 properties that are single-family residences in all of the MLS that are active and above $10 million. So I'm going to go look at those, and I'm going to pick out a few that I want to show to Mr. I.B. Rich. So I come in here, I don't check any yet. I come in and I start looking at the properties. This one's in Highland Park, 12.7 million. Yep, I want to show him that one. So I'm going to put a check mark on it. I'm going to hit next. That's not his style of house. That one's got the colonial look to it. He's more of a modern person. Yeah, he probably might like this one, so I'm going to put a check mark there. So I'm going to go through and put check marks. Oh, y'all know what that property is? This is Deion Sanders' old mansion up in Prosper. It's coming on and off the market. I think a corporation bought it, and it's now back up for sale. Yeah, I'm going to show him that one. So I'm going to go through and do a handful of properties here that I want to show him. When I go off of the agent full back to the agent single line, the properties that I put a check mark on are still checked. So I'm going to do 2 more. Okay? Now that I've got those, if we hit refine, narrow, we're going to keep our check marks, and it's going to show us these. So now I'm going to send these over into the cloud system, Cloud CMA. I'm going to copy these, and instead of doing a CMA, I'm going to go to the buyer tour, and I'm going to create a new buyer tour. So it doesn't push it directly into the buyer tour, it pushes it over into Cloud CMA, but then I copied those. So I'm going to create a new buyer tour. My client's going to be Mr. I.B. Rich. And, there we go. The listing numbers are still there. If they weren't there, then I could paste my ones over. Now I'm going to hit Fetch Listings. Again, it's going to log into their database, get the information about these listings, and it's going to put it into a buyer tour for us. And we can email this buyer tour to our client and say, okay, tomorrow we're going to go see this handful of properties, and I'm making the appointments to make that happen. When we get here, it's going to show us where those are. That's Dion's property way up there, but these are the ones down here. It's going to show me our properties here, so maybe I want to take the Prosper one off. I can uncheck it, and now we're going to stay in Highland Village and Dallas and that area. So once I've unchecked that one, I could tell it to create the buyer tour report. When we create the buyer tour report, it looks very similar to doing a CMA. Up here are controls. Down here are the content of the buyer tour there. If I wanted to remove any pages, I could. Again, if I want to add any pages over here, I can. If I wanted to change the color, change the photo layouts, I could. I'm not going to take the time to do that because we've already gone through that once. It works exactly the same, and we can do publish report. Once we do publish report, right here is the one that's in progress. Once it gets done, we're going to be able to view it as a PDF, or we can play the slideshow. So they've gone through and made this report look much better on the buyer tour. And I'll tell you what, we'll just do this. There we go, it finally did it. If we do view PDF, it's going to open up another web page here and show us this. So about 42 pages long. It's got the client's name, your information, the home buying process, a map of where the properties are. Here's the listings. So it's giving them a picture of the property, where it is on the map, the amenities of the property, has a place for the buyer to make comments if they want to write comments after you show it to them. Shows the other pictures of the property, the area schools, area businesses, and then on to the next property here. So it shows the same thing about each of the properties. So this is meant to be printed out, and they could take it with them on the buyer tour and have a place to make notes. If we close the buyer tour, we can also play a slideshow. So this is very similar to the Cloud CMA slideshow, except it's meant for the buyer to use on their tablet. So instead of having to print it out and bring it with them, this is going to be done on their tablet. It's got a summary of the properties there. Again, the only option is to go right now, but when we go to the right, it has your contact information, has a map where those properties are, So it's going to show the active homes when they get here. Here's a picture, aerial picture in that case. If we scroll down, it's going to show the thumbnails, pictures. Then it's going to have the schools, area restaurants, and so forth. If we go to the next one, it does the same thing about each one of the properties there with the pictures. Ooh, my wife would love that room. Wine room there, huh? If they click on it, it's going to blow it up. If we scroll on down, we'll see the thumbnail pictures for all of it, and then the schools and the restaurants for each of them. So if they're techie and they carry their tablet around with them, they would probably like this. If I close that, that's the printed version. This is a slideshow. Again, if you come up to this little icon in the top right hand corner, you can copy a link to the PDF. If you do that, and you come and you paste that link in, it's taking them to that printed version. If you copy the link to the slideshow, you open up another tab, you email it to them, they click on that link, it's going to show them the slideshow version of the buyer tour. Okay, there you go. All right, so that is a new capability. We didn't have that capability to email that buyer tour to them before, so I really like that version. So CMA is a report for a listing presentation. Buyer tour, you're going to be showing property information to them. The property report, this is meant for you to give details about a particular listing to your buyer. So this is going to be the information out of MLS and all of that. So you could create a property page there, a property report about that report. We won't take time to do it now. You can also create a flyer. You've got a bunch of different flyers to choose from here. So again, here's a flyer. I'm just going to click on view the PDF. So I think there's like 13 different flyers that you can use here. You would select that before you create the flyer, but then it's going to pull the information out of Matrix, the pictures here, and put that in, but then it would have your contact information, not the listing agent. So maybe I'm going to show a property for another agent this weekend, and I want to take flyers that have my information on there. I could right there very easily. It doesn't take 2 minutes to create a flyer. So CMA, buyer tour, property reports, and flyer. So they wanted, when they did the redesign of their website here, they wanted to keep it very simple for you. They didn't want you to lose what they called muscle memory from the old UI to this UI on here. So I think they did a great job, very easy to drive the system here. If we go back up and we wanted to switch back to the classic, if you click on your initials or your picture there, you can come down to switch to the classic. It's going to show you the same system here. This is the one we're used to seeing, and it does the same things here that we did here on the new user interface. If we click on the new Cloud CMA, boom, we're there. So this is the one that's going to stay with us after the first of the year. I would recommend you go ahead and use the new user interface and get used to it here. So another neat thing that you can do with the system is you can generate leads. If you go up to your initials or your picture, you'll see account settings. You can change your telephone number, contact information. You can create custom pages to put in your reports. You can also do lead generation. Lead generation. When you click there, this is a landing page. It says, what's my house worth? So you can view the landing page. It's going to open up another page. This is what it looks like right here. So let's say I want to send this link out to my clients on Facebook. I could do that if I want to. I can copy this link, go to Facebook and say, hey, would you like to see what your house is worth? And link them to this page. They come here, they put their address in. It says, what's my house worth? Enter your address. So I'm just going to enter a property address I know here. In Flower Mound, Texas. And right there's the property I'm interested in. So show me what's my house is worth. They're going to click that, and it's going to say, okay, I have done that, and can I have your name and telephone number and square footage of your house? So I'll put my name here, email address, and telephone number, and the square footage of the house, and email me my report. That quick and dirty CMA that we were talking about on the CMA homepage is going to look around that property to find comparables. It's going to generate a CMA report and send it to them. But it's going to tell them on there that they will be contacted for a much more correct CMA there. Okay, so you could put this on Facebook, you could put it on an email out to your clients, you could put it on your website right there, and they could generate that. I'm going to get the contact information of the person that put the information in, so then I could contact them and say, hey, I see that you requested a CMA, can I give you a much more accurate CMA? Okay, so that is generating a CMA by the system from the lead generation. How did I get here? If I go to the top right hand corner where your initials or your picture is, depending on if you put your picture on the system, you come down to lead generation. And it's going to show you this page. If you want to view the landing page again, you click on that little button. That's the page you're sending them to. Rather than being real intimidating here, it does have your contact information on it, but the lead goes to you once you generate it. So another neat system there. You can also generate the CMA report out of Cloud MLX. So I'm just going to take about 5 minutes here to show you Cloud MLX. Instead of generating it out of Matrix, if we go back to the portal, here at the bottom, you'll see Cloud MLX. So we've got the 3 cloud tools. Cloud CMA, report generating tool. Cloud Streams is an auto email type program. Cloud MLX is a search engine. When you click on Cloud MLX, you treat Cloud MLX like you do Google. It's a different way to search. Up here at the top, we have the one-line search right here. If we click on that, we say, I want to see active properties. I want to see sold properties in Grapevine. I'm just going to show you how to do that same CMA on the properties in that neighborhood. So Grapevine, the city. I want square footage. Square footage is a little bit easier to enter if you come over here to this little icon to the right of the one-line search. When you open on that, it does show you the old way of searching right here. So we were saying that we want the 300 down from 2200, so that'd be 1900, and a maximum of 2500, that would be 300 up. When I put in that square footage range there, it puts that in for me up here in my one-line search. Now I want to search by map and find the neighborhood that I want here. So actives and solds in Grapevine in this square footage range. When I come over, I've got these 2 little icons. I can look at a list. I can toggle back and forth here. If I want to go to this icon in the top right hand corner, I can switch to my map view. So if I scroll down, it took me to Grapevine because I already had a search there. Then this is the neighborhood that we're wanting to do the search on. I can draw a polygon right over here on the top right hand corner. It's kind of hard to see with your webinar panel open there, but you can click right there and then you can draw a search area around this property, or this neighborhood, excuse me, and stop where you first started. It's going to show that there. And it's got a custom area. And we did actives and solds and grapevine. So now I want to take grapevine out. It's just going to show me the properties that are in this neighborhood. Why am I coming up with different properties? 1.9 to 2,500 square feet, active and solds. I'm coming up with different properties. Oh, I drew outside here. So I need to adjust that. Remove the custom area. Let me get back here where I was. And find grapevine here again. Here we go. I'm going to draw my area here again. There we go. 75 properties. I need to narrow these down. Anyway, that's how you would find them here. It's still got pools there that I don't want and things, but you would go through and put check marks next to the ones you want to select. If we go the icon view here, it's in the top left-hand corner of the picture. If you go to the list view, you could go down through here and find your comparables that you want to select here, and I'm just doing it real quick there. Once we've got it done, then we can send these to Cloud CMA. Right here to the right of the selected, there is a little 3 button icon. When I click there, I send it down, make a CMA report. It's going to push those listings over into Cloud CMA from Cloud MLX. So we have multiple ways we can push information into Cloud CMA. All right. We got any questions today, guys?
We do have a question from Ray. He wants to know if there's a way to change the background on that really cool landing page.
If we go to settings and we go to lead generation, I don't think so. They changed this page based on feedback from realtors, because it did used to have really high detailed pictures of homes on here, and based on the feedback that they were getting back, it was taking too long to download sometimes. So they went to a really simple background here that would transmit more. Let me switch back over into the classic UI. If we go to settings here, we go to lead generation. There are some other things here that you can use, and I would have to find them over there in the new user interface, but you can put like buttons on websites to do this. You can copy this script right here and put it in your website for a button. You can change web emails. I was just going to look and see if it had anything about changing the background here. There are some videos here that you can link to on how to do this. So under each section, using the API key right there, doing it on your website, there are video links right here. So Ray, you might want to go through and watch those videos and see if they say anything about changing those UIs. And this is on the classic user interface right there, the lead generation tab. Okay? Other questions, guys? Nothing? All right. If you haven't used Cloud MLX, I would suggest you give this a try. It has a lot of neat capabilities. A lot of things are built in here for the pictures, and the pictures are much larger. The last thing we didn't talk about is Cloud Streams. Cloud Streams is an auto email type program. You can set up a search for your buyers, and it will send them emails as new things come on the market. So we have a new class called Surfing the Cloud, where we talk about Cloud CMA, Cloud Streams, in Cloud MLX. It's a 2-hour CE class. I would recommend you attend that class, see how these products work together very well there to accomplish what you want. If you like the way Cloud Streams looks better than the auto emails in Matrix, then put your clients in one or the other. Don't put them in both. It'll drive them nuts. They'll get double notified about everything, and the systems work totally different. One thing that Cloud Streams does that the auto emails in Matrix does not is the clients can put their cell phones in there, and instead of receiving emails, they will receive text messages. And Cloud Streams is very friendly to phones. It's customized for mobile phones on there, so that might be a good product if you have somebody that would rather receive text and they're viewing properties on their phone rather than in email on a computer. Any other questions, Kelly?
I think they're just saying that they enjoyed it.
Well, great. I'm glad y'all enjoyed the presentation today. I love the cloud products, so like I say, attend those classes, learn a little bit more about those. Cloud MLX has a lot of neat processes here. Also, this is a backup to Matrix. We have 2 backups. Matrix is our main MLS system. You have to input your listings there. Netris Innovia is an older system and is eventually going to be retired. I don't have a date that that's going to work, but you can use it anytime you want to. And then Cloud MLX. So if Matrix is ever down, you can always use Cloud MLX because it's not dependent on our MLS database being up. They have their own data that is coming from our MLS there. So if Matrix is down, then jump onto Cloud MLX and you can accomplish what you need to do. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate all the kind words there. If you have any questions, we'll be around just a little bit longer, but that's going to be the end of the webinar. So say goodbye, Kelly.
Goodbye, everyone, and it was great spending time with you guys and visiting and surfing in the cloud.
All right. Enjoyed it. Y'all have a great Thanksgiving and be safe. Bye-bye.